This vehicle was totally restored as of August 1996. All mechanical components were either rebuilt or replaced. The entire chassis has been replaced with a galvanized steel chassis. Over here on the left of the windscreen we have a high-rise air intake, brand new. Locking hubs made by Winch. Looking inside the vehicle, we find high back bucket seats and over the shoulder inertia style seat belts, brand new. An internal roll cage system. .12-gauge shotgun is normally not in the rack. That was just for protection on the trip. As we come inside, you can get a good idea of what the dash panel looks like. Everything has been replaced. The windshield wiper motors were rebuilt. Brand new wiper arms and blades. New window glass. The actual windshield glass is brand new. Looking from the driver's side, attempting to get a shot of the serial number. $244-20614B. This vehicle contains a stereo system, shotgun shells as you can see, and then back behind here we have a Optimus Radio Shack disc player, and inside this stereo cabinet there is a 200-watt amplifier which provides power. There are two small Pioneer speakers on the firewall in the front, as you can see. From the rear you can see also all brand new. As we approach the dirty rear of this Rover, you can look inside from behind, see the roll cage from a different angle. The large black box is a housing for a storage area and two 10-inch subwoofers. On either side of the back of the Rover there are two Pioneer triaxial speakers. Now close the rear hatch. Proceed to the engine compartment. To access the engine, you have to remove the hatches that hold the hood down. Under the bonnet we have a 2¼ liter gasoline powered Land Rover engine, of course rebuilt also. New radiator, new water pump, rebuilt alternator with a high amp output system, all new brake lines and brake master cylinder rebuilt, clutch master cylinder rebuilt. You can see the new air intake system which goes through the hood and on up to above the roof line. for the intake of clean air above the road, and also for the purpose of snorkeling through deep water. In the back you can see next to the coil a small bent metal tube which extends down to a rubber hose which connects to the rear differential. This provides the highest possible air breathing ability for the rear differential, thereby keeping water out when waiting. The front differential, its tube, you can see in the back there on the firewall, extends behind the firewall. So we come around, we can get a shot of this side of the engine. And although it's hard to see, there's a large fuel filter, which is actually a diesel fuel filter down there, which filters out water and impurities down to 5 microns. Then there is the standard Land Rover glass sediment bowl. As we back up, we can again see the winch, which is an 8,000 pound Warren winch with 150 foot of brand new galvanized steel cable, new hook, and new fair leads. Of course, the entire body was painted, actually was polyblasted, hand washed, meticulously washed by myself, then prepped and painted with DuPont Centauri paint, I believe is the brand name. The entire wiring harness has also been replaced. I did most of the final assembly of this vehicle from the frame up. The engine and transmission and differentials were rebuilt by the British connection, Martin and Bennett French in Deep Gap, North Carolina. Of course, as you may know or may not know, Land Rover's entire body is made out of aluminum alloy. Makes it light, and it's a very effective four-wheel drive. The undercarriage of the Rover is very strong. All of the steering components were rebuilt or replaced. The leather component you see, which is sewn together, is termed a gator. It protects the chrome swivel balls, which allow the propeller shafts to be protected from damage. And you can see the steering stabilizer and the springs and differential casing. The hole in the rear cross member, or bumper if you will, was originally designed for PTO shaft, but if we look into the hole we can see the new exhaust system along with the tube in the very center of the frame going up to the air breather system for the rear differential. You can also see all the way forward to the transmission and transfer case through the hole in the frame in the center. Also to the right, below that cross member with a hole, is the drive shaft going into the transmission braking system, which locks all 4 wheels. To the left of the exhaust pipe is the one of the bumpers, bump stop rubber they call it, that keeps the rear differential and front differential, they have 2 on each differential, keeps them from contacting the frame while off-road. Also can be seen to the left of the rubber is the check strap, which keeps the differential from overextending while off-road. All, of course, brand new components. All of the window gaskets were replaced by myself. The weather stripping and weather seals on the entire vehicle, all between all the body panels here, were all replaced, which I did myself. All door gaskets and window gaskets and trim for the sliding windows, since the Rover's windows slide instead of roll, were all replaced. And this is the end of the Land Rover documentary on my Land Rover. And one last look